Hi, I'm DDS Arkham, and this will be my review on Anthem, developed by Bioware and published by Electronic Arts. In preparation for this review, I played the main story to completion, totaling over 32 hours in game time, all played on the Xbox One X.
I'm sorry. She left this archive behind.
We'll have my people dig into it.
For those going into Anthem expecting Bioware's usual excellence in storytelling will be sorely disappointed. You play as a freelancer, people who pilot Iron Man-style suits who are pretty much glorified mercenaries. You're tasked with stopping the Monitor from using the Anthem. If that doesn't make much sense, it's okay since the game itself doesn't do a good job of explaining any of its backstory. The only way to really find out anything is to look through the core text and read about it in entries, something that the first Destiny game got extremely wrong. Though direct storytelling wouldn't exactly help Anthem much either, since the story is extremely bare bones in originality, opting for a light versus dark storyline that has been done numerous times in the past. Add in the repetitive nature of the missions, and the game's main story can feel like a slog to play through. The only positives I can mention is that I actually enjoyed many of the characters you meet in the game, with characters like Halleck and Owen actually being interesting to talk to.
Scare me a little sometimes.
Do I? Actually, I suppose that's fair. I do peddle in danger. Still, you should know me better than that. I know you.
Okay, when's my birthday?
Trick question. You don't like celebrating birthdays.
But even there are negatives here, as the amount of characters you can talk to in Fort Tarsis, the game's main hub, is overwhelming and some of the conversations can be quite dull. The only other positive I can mention is that there is some humor in the game, however I found the most of these moments were in the middle of combat, where they could be easily missed. All in all, Anthem's story is a mess. A far cry from what we should expect from Bioware.
Making trouble for people out in the jungle.
Sure, just routine, right?
Just routine. I go, I fight. After, I notice one of them is only wounded.
The combat in Anthem revolves around the use of suits called javelins. There are 4 different kinds in the game, and each represent classic RPG classes. The Storm is like a mage, Interceptor an assassin, Colossus a tank, and the Ranger is a warrior, or kind of like Mass Effect soldier. Each of them have very different playstyles and are fun in their own way. What each of them allows you to do, though, is fly around the world map just like Iron Man himself. While there's an overheat mechanic I'm not very fond of, flying in this game is fun and fluid and makes traversing the game's world so worth it. Now, with this game being a looter shooter, the gameplay cycle has to be worth playing through. While you can loot new abilities for your javelins to use, that is pretty nice, the weapon loot is very unimaginative and repetitive, with weapons just being repeated over and over again with just more damage. Thankfully, the combat itself is excellent. The gunplay here is accurate and smooth, and using javelin abilities is satisfying as all hell. While there's much wrong here in the mission structure, the gameplay itself is what was bringing me in, and the amount of fun I was having during combat is a testament to how good Anthem's gameplay actually is.
You got it. Now restore power.
Starting with the positives here, Anthem is one of the best looking games I've ever played. Despite a world map that's lacking in variety, it's hard not looking at many places thinking how stunning it looks. Also, for a game surrounded by mechs, the animations are pretty good, though many facial animations themselves are lacking in some emotion. However, Anthem may look good, it is plagued by issues. While I didn't encounter too many bugs and glitches, they were still present and noticeable. The game also has really long loading screens that can last a couple minutes, which isn't something I'm usually bugged by, but by the fact that the game has a lot of these loading screens makes it annoying. I also noticed some frame drops during cutscenes that bugged me as well, and with Anthem being an online game, I did lose connection numerous times, and my game also crashed a handful of times. It's truly a shame that a game this good looking can have such problems that hurt the experience.
Let's just get it done.
I actually thought the sound was actually very well done in Anthem. From the guns to the sound of your javelin's jets as you fly around, everything just sounded so satisfying to me. I also found the music in the game to be very good as well, being able to bring a great balance of sci-fi and epic theme soundtracks. What I found to be lacking, though, was the voice work. While the main characters were done well, any of the other characters you could interact with just sounded bland and emotionless. Other than that, Anthem sounds amazing, especially during combat where the sound and music really shine.
That's all of them, you think?
Anthem is such an uneven game. While the narrative lacks originality and is poorly told, the gameplay is a blast, and the feeling of flying and fighting in a javelin is so great and unique. Many issues could have been fixed with more time, but now we can only hope that Bioware works to bring Anthem from the average game it is now to the game we were all hoping it could be.
Now name your price, and we all walk away with something.
Relics are dangerous.